If you enjoy a straightforward gaming experience, then this list is for you. In this video, I will talk about 31 linear games you should play for a great single-player and unforgettable experience. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Alright, let's kick things off with Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy by Eidos Montreal. If you're a fan of the MCU or just love some good old space shenanigans, this game is gonna be right up your alley. It's like jumping into a Guardians movie, but you get to call the shots. You play as Star-Lord, the legendary, or at least he thinks so, leader of the Guardians. The game is linear, which means you get a focused, action-packed story without getting lost in endless side missions. And trust me, with the Guardians, there's never a dull moment. The story is filled with hilarious banter, epic battles, and heartwarming moments that'll make you laugh, cry, and maybe even dance a little. Gameplay-wise, it's a blast. You'll be flying around, shooting bad guys with Star-Lord's blasters, and calling the shots for the rest of the team. Each Guardian has their own unique abilities, and coordinating them in battle is super satisfying. Plus, the game's dialogue choices mean you can shape the story in small but meaningful ways. It's like being the director of your own space opera. Visually, the game is stunning. The environments are beautifully crafted, from alien planets to the Milano's cozy interior. The character designs are spot on, capturing the quirky charm of the Guardians perfectly. And for the soundtrack, it's packed with 80s hits that'll have you grooving as you blast through enemies. Seriously, it's like a party in your console. So, if you're looking for a game that's got a great story, awesome characters, and a whole lot of fun, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy is a must-play. Hi-Fi Rush. If you've ever wondered what it would be like to mix a rhythm game with a high-octane action adventure, this is your answer. It's like someone took a music festival and smashed it into a video game, and the result is nothing short of awesome. In Hi-Fi Rush, you play as Chai, a wannabe rock star with a music player stuck in his chest, turning the world around him into one giant musical. The game is linear, so you get a tight, focused story that keeps you jamming from start to finish. The plot is simple but effective. You're on a mission to bring down an evil corporation, and you're doing it all to the beat. Gameplay-wise, it's a rhythm-action hybrid. You'll be fighting enemies, jumping through levels, and solving puzzles, all in time with the music. The better you sync your actions to the beat, the more powerful you become. It's like Dance Dance Revolution meets Devil May Cry. And don't worry if you don't have perfect rhythm. The game is forgiving enough to let you have fun without feeling like you need to be a musical prodigy. Visually, Hi-Fi Rush is a feast for the eyes. The vibrant, colorful graphics are like a living comic book, and the animation is smooth and stylish. Every punch, kick, and jump is synced to the music, making the whole game feel like one continuous, epic music video. It's basically eye candy for anyone who loves good art and killer beats. I just can't get enough of the unique gameplay and catchy soundtrack. The story, while not overly complex, is engaging and filled with likable characters. The voice acting is solid, adding a lot of personality to Chai and his companions. It's one of those games that's just pure, unadulterated fun. So, if you're in the mood for something fresh and energetic, Hi-Fi Rush is a must-play. It's got a killer soundtrack, innovative gameplay, and visuals that pop. Mafia Definitive Edition. If you've ever dreamed of being in a classic mobster movie, this game is like your ticket to the 1930s underworld. Seriously, it's like stepping right into The Godfather, but you get to be the star. You play as Tommy Angelo, who starts off as a regular cab driver and ends up in the dangerous world of the Salieri crime family. The story is pretty linear, which is great because it keeps things focused and intense. And trust me, this story has all the drama, betrayal, and action you'd want from a gangster flick. Gameplay-wise, Mafia Definitive Edition is pretty decent for a linear game. You've got intense shootouts, thrilling car chases, and plenty of exploration. The gunfights feel super satisfying, and driving those vintage cars through the streets of Lost Heaven is just, well, awesome. The missions are varied, so you never really know what's coming next. One minute you're in a high-stakes heist, the next you're in a tense standoff. It's like living out all your gangster fantasies without the risk of, actual jail time. And as far as it is about the visuals, this game is stunning. The city of Lost Heaven is beautifully recreated with insane attention to detail. From the bustling downtown streets to the shadowy back alleys, it's like stepping into a time machine. The character models and animations are top-notch too, making the story and its cast of characters feel super real.
That's right.
Mafia games are all about their engaging stories, the rich atmosphere, and the faithful recreation of the original Mafia game.
And then extra stuff in your pockets full of Salieri's dirty money.
Soma. If you're into horror games that mess with your mind and make you question reality, this one is basically a must-play. It's like a psychological thriller wrapped in a sci-fi horror story, and it's going to stick with you long after you put the controller down. In Soma, you play as Simon Jarrett, a guy who wakes up in an underwater research facility with no clue how he got there. The story is linear, which means you're on a tightly controlled roller coaster ride through the game's terrifying plot. And trust me, this story dives deep into some pretty heavy themes about consciousness, identity, and what it means to be human. It's like an episode of Black Mirror, but you're in the middle of it. Gameplay-wise, Soma is all about exploration and survival. There's no combat, so you're mostly sneaking around, solving puzzles, and trying not to get caught by the creepy, unsettling creatures that roam the facility. It's got that Amnesia vibe, where you're constantly on edge, waiting for something to jump out at you. And the puzzles are pretty clever, making you think without totally frying your brain. Visually, the game is atmospheric as hell. The underwater setting is both beautiful and claustrophobic, with dark, murky corridors and the constant threat of the ocean pressing in. The sound design is top-notch too, with eerie noises and unsettling music that keeps you on edge. It's like being trapped in a nightmare, but in a good way, if that makes any sense. I love the story and how it makes you think about some really deep stuff. The atmosphere is frequently mentioned as one of the game's biggest strengths, with the visuals and sound creating a truly immersive horror experience. The lack of combat is a plus for many, making it feel more like a survival experience than a typical horror game. So, if you're in the mood for a game that's going to get under your skin and make you question everything, Soma is a must-play. It's got a gripping story, a chilling atmosphere, and enough twists to keep you hooked from start to finish. Grab your controller, turn off the lights, and get ready to dive into one of the most unsettling games out there. Trust me, you won't be able to stop thinking about it. Dishonored 2. Alright, let's talk about Dishonored 2. If you're into stealth games with a heavy dose of supernatural powers and killer storytelling, this game is basically a no-brainer. It's like playing a high-stakes game of hide and seek, but with more stabbing and magical abilities. In Dishonored 2, you get to choose between two characters, Emily Kaldwin, the Empress with a knack for shadowy powers, and Corvo Attano, her father and the protagonist from the first game. The story is linear but offers plenty of choices, which means you can play it multiple times and still find new things. It's all about reclaiming the throne from an evil usurper, but how you do it is entirely up to you. Want to be a ghost and sneak past everyone without a trace? Go for it. Prefer to leave a trail of chaos and bodies? That's cool too. Gameplay-wise, Dishonored 2 is a mix of stealth, combat, and exploration. Each character has their own unique set of supernatural abilities, making every playthrough feel fresh. Emily can mesmerize enemies or turn into a shadow to slip through tight spaces, while Corvo brings back his time-stopping teleporting tricks. The level design is top-notch, offering multiple paths and secrets to discover. It's like a deadly playground, and you're the one calling the shots. The art style is a blend of Victorian steampunk with a dark, gothic twist. The city of Karnaca is beautifully crafted, with detailed environments that range from opulent palaces to grimy back alleys. The character designs are distinctive, and the animations are smooth, making the action feel fluid and dynamic. It's like stepping into a dark, twisted painting that you can actually explore. I love the freedom of choice and the deep, engaging story. The variety in gameplay styles and the replayability factor are big hits. The voice acting is also top-notch, adding depth to the characters and the rich narrative. Plus, the game's atmosphere and world building are frequently praised, making it a standout in the genre. So, if you're looking for a game that combines stealth, supernatural powers, and a compelling story, Dishonored 2 is a must-play. It's got everything: a gripping narrative, stunning visuals, and gameplay that lets you play your way. Devil May Cry 5. If you're a fan of stylish action games that let you pull off insane combos while looking like a total badass, this game is your jam. It's basically like starring in your own over-the-top action movie, but with demons and ridiculously cool weapons. In Devil May Cry 5, you follow the story of three main characters, Nero, Dante, and a mysterious new guy named V. Each of them has their own fighting style and set of abilities, which keeps the gameplay fresh and exciting. The story is linear, but it's packed with twists, epic moments, and enough demon-slaying action to keep you hooked from start to finish. And for the gameplay, this is where Devil May Cry 5 shines. The combat is fast, fluid, and incredibly satisfying. Nero's got his mechanical arm, Dante's got a whole arsenal of crazy weapons, and V, well, he's got some unique tricks up his sleeve. Pulling off combos is not just about mashing buttons. It's about timing, style, and looking awesome while you do it. And let's not forget the boss battles. They're big, flashy, and challenging, just like they should be. And for the graphics, whether you're fighting in a demon-infested city or a creepy underground lair, everything looks amazing. It's like being in a high-budget action movie, but you're the star, and you get to decide how the action unfolds. So, if you're in the mood for a game that's all about stylish action, insane combos, and epic battles, Devil May Cry 5 is a must-play. Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. Alright, let's dive into Wolfenstein 2. If you're into fast-paced shooters with a side of alternate history and a whole lot of Nazi-kicking action, this game is like totally for you. Seriously, it's like stepping into a blockbuster action movie where you get to be the hero taking down the bad guys. You play as BJ Blazkowicz, the most badass Nazi hunter around. The story picks up right where the previous game left off, with BJ fighting to ignite a revolution against the Nazi regime in an occupied America. It's a linear narrative, but it's packed with twists, emotional moments, and plenty of explosive action. Think of it like Inglourious Bastard on steroids. Gameplay-wise, Wolfenstein 2 is all about high-octane combat. You've got a crazy arsenal of weapons at your disposal, from dual-wielding shotguns to futuristic laser guns. The shooting mechanics are tight and satisfying, making every gunfight feel intense and rewarding. And let's not forget the over-the-top, brutal takedowns. They're as gruesome as they are satisfying. Plus, the game encourages you to play your way, whether you prefer going in guns blazing or sneaking around like a silent assassin. Visually, the game is stunning. The environments are richly detailed, from the ruined streets of New York to the eerie, oppressive Nazi facilities. So, if you're looking for a game that offers non-stop action, a compelling story, and a chance to take down some Nazis, Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus is a must-play. Plague Tale: Innocence. If you're into games with gripping stories and atmospheric settings, this one is going to be right up your alley. It's like stepping into a dark medieval fairy tale, but with way more rats and a whole lot of heartache. You play as Amicia de Rune, a young girl trying to survive in 14th century France during the Black Plague. You've got your little brother Hugo to look after, and let me tell you, the sibling dynamic here is both touching and intense. The story is linear, which means it's packed with focused, narrative-driven moments that keep you hooked from start to finish. It's basically like reading a really good novel, but you get to be part of the action.
Of course.
Gameplay-wise, it's all about stealth, puzzle solving, and a bit of combat. You'll need to sneak past soldiers, avoid swarms of plague-ridden rats, and use your wits to solve various environmental puzzles. Amicia's primary weapon is a sling, which she uses to take down enemies and interact with the world. And those rats? They're not just creepy, they're part of the puzzles too. It's like a medieval stealth game with a heavy dose of survival horror. The lighting and textures create a hauntingly realistic world that pulls you right into the story. The character models are detailed and expressive, making the emotional moments hit even harder. I love the emotional depth of the story and the relationship between Amicia and Hugo. The atmosphere is often highlighted as one of the game's strongest points, with the visuals and sound design creating an immersive experience. So, if you're looking for a game with a compelling story, stunning visuals, and a mix of stealth and puzzle-solving gameplay, A Plague Tale: Innocence is a must-play.
I know what you're like.
Half-Life 2. If you're a fan of first-person shooters with a mix of epic storytelling and groundbreaking gameplay, this game is pretty much a must-play. It's like stepping into a sci-fi epic where you're the hero battling against all odds. You play as Gordon Freeman, the silent protagonist with a PhD in kicking alien butt. The story picks up right after the events of the original Half-Life, throwing you into a dystopian world controlled by the alien Combine. It's a linear narrative, but it's packed with so many twists, turns, and memorable moments that you'll be glued to your screen from start to finish. Gameplay-wise, Half-Life 2 is revolutionary. You've got your classic first-person shooter mechanics, but with a twist, the gravity gun. This nifty gadget lets you manipulate objects in the environment, leading to some seriously creative combat and puzzle-solving scenarios. The physics-based gameplay is a blast, making every encounter feel fresh and exciting. Plus, the variety of enemies and challenges keeps you on your toes. It's like a masterclass in game design basically, and honestly, even years after its release, Half-Life 2 holds up incredibly well. The environments are detailed and immersive, from the bleak streets of City 17 to the eerie, alien-infested locales. The character models and animations are top-notch, especially for a game of its time.
So wake up, Mr. Freeman.
So, if you're looking for a game that combines thrilling action, a gripping story, and innovative gameplay, Half-Life 2 is a must-play. Grab your crowbar, get your gravity gun ready, and dive into one of the most iconic gaming experiences ever created. Trust me, this is one adventure that'll stick with you long after the credits roll. Max Payne 3. If you're into gritty, action-packed shooters with a dark, compelling story, this game is a must-play. It's like starring in your own hard-boiled action movie, but with more slow-motion dives and a lot more bullets. You play as Max Payne, a former NYPD detective who's now working as a private security contractor in Brazil. The story picks up years after the events of the first two games, with Max trying to escape his haunted past. It's a linear narrative, but it's packed with intense moments, twists, and a whole lot of noir-style storytelling. Imagine a John Woo movie with a side of noir detective drama. That's Max Payne 3 in a nutshell. Gameplay-wise, Max Payne 3 is all about intense, cinematic action. The series' signature bullet time mechanic is back, allowing you to slow down time and pull off some seriously cool moves. Diving through the air while blasting enemies in slow motion never gets old. The shooting mechanics are tight and satisfying, making every firefight a thrilling experience. Plus, the game's cover system and weapon variety keep the combat fresh and engaging. The game's dark, atmospheric narrative is frequently praised, as is the voice acting, particularly James McCaffrey's performance as Max. The game's soundtrack, composed by Health, adds an extra layer of intensity to the action, making every moment feel even more epic. So, if you're looking for a game that offers a gripping story, intense action, and a protagonist who's as tough as they come, Max Payne 3 is a must-play. Just saying. If you're looking for a game that's all about exploration, climbing, and breathtaking views, this one's definitely for you. It's like taking a relaxing yet challenging hike up a massive, mysterious mountain, but from the comfort of your couch. In Just Ant, you play as a lone climber on a quest to ascend a towering peak. The story is linear and unfolds gradually as you make your way up, discovering ancient ruins, hidden secrets, and breathtaking vistas. It's all about the journey and the mysteries you uncover along the way. Think of it as a mix between a climbing simulator and a beautifully crafted adventure game. Just Ant focuses heavily on the mechanics of climbing. You'll need to use your skills and tools to navigate the treacherous terrain, find the best routes, and overcome various obstacles. The controls are intuitive, making the act of climbing feel realistic and satisfying. It's like a puzzle game where each section of the mountain presents a new challenge to solve. Plus, there's no combat, so it's all about the thrill of exploration and mastering the climb. Visually, Just Ant is absolutely stunning. The mountain and its surroundings are beautifully rendered, with detailed environments that change as you ascend. The art style is vibrant and atmospheric, making every new area a visual treat. The dynamic weather and lighting effects add to the immersion, making it feel like you're really there, facing the elements. It's like stepping into a living, breathing painting. I really enjoyed the unique gameplay and gorgeous visuals. So, if you're in the mood for a game that's all about exploration, beautiful scenery, and the thrill of the climb, Just Ant is a must-play. Alan Wake. If you're into psychological thrillers with a side of supernatural mystery, this game is basically a must-play. It's like stepping into a Stephen King novel, but you're the one living through all the spine-tingling moments. You play as Alan Wake, a best-selling thriller writer who's suffering from a serious case of writer's block. To clear his head, he heads to the small town of Bright Falls with his wife, Alice. But things go sideways fast when Alice disappears, and Alan finds himself in a nightmare where the events of his latest manuscript, which he doesn't even remember writing, come to life. The story is linear and tightly woven, filled with twists and turns that'll keep you guessing. It's like watching a really good horror TV show, but you're in control. Gameplay-wise, Alan Wake is all about exploring, fighting off shadowy enemies called the Taken, and uncovering the mystery behind Alice's disappearance. The game uses light as a weapon, so you'll be using your flashlight to weaken enemies before finishing them off with conventional weapons. It's a unique mechanic that adds a layer of strategy to the combat. Plus, you'll be collecting manuscript pages that provide clues about what's happening and what's about to happen. It's like being a detective in your own horror story. Visually, the game is atmospheric as hell. Bright Falls and its surrounding areas are beautifully crafted, with a moody, eerie vibe that makes you feel like something's always lurking just out of sight. The lighting effects are particularly impressive, especially considering the game's focus on light versus darkness. I have nothing but praise for Alan Wake. The story, the unique gameplay mechanics, and the atmospheric visuals. The game's episodic structure, with cliffhangers and recaps, makes it feel like a binge-worthy TV show, which keeps you hooked from start to finish. So, if you're looking for a game that combines a gripping story, atmospheric visuals, and innovative gameplay, Alan Wake is a must-play. Grab your flashlight, dive into the darkness, and get ready for a thrilling ride through the twisted world of Bright Falls.
Turn your flashlight toward him and burn the darkness away.
Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. If you're a fan of epic adventures, treasure hunts, and jaw-dropping action sequences, this game is like hitting the jackpot. It's like playing through the most thrilling blockbuster movie, but you get to be the hero. You play as Nathan Drake, the charming, wisecracking treasure hunter we all know and love. In this installment, Nate's trying to leave his adventurous past behind, but he gets pulled back in by his long-lost brother, Sam. The story is linear, which means you're in for a tightly paced narrative filled with twists, emotional moments, and plenty of high-stakes action. It's like Indiana Jones, but with even more explosions and dramatic cliffhangers. Gameplay-wise, Uncharted 4 is a mix of exploration, combat, and puzzle solving. You'll be scaling cliffs, swinging on ropes, and getting into intense shootouts with bad guys. The climbing mechanics are super smooth, making every leap and grab feel fluid and natural. The gunplay is satisfying, and there are plenty of opportunities to use stealth if you prefer a quieter approach. And let's not forget the epic set pieces. These action sequences are some of the most memorable moments in gaming. The environments are incredibly detailed, from lush jungles and ancient ruins to bustling cities and eerie caves. The character models and animations are top-notch, making the cutscenes feel like you're watching a high-budget film. It's like every scene is a work of art, crafted with so much care and attention to detail. So, if you're looking for a game that offers a perfect blend of action, adventure, and storytelling, Uncharted 4: A Thief's End is a must-play. Shadow of the Tomb Raider. If you're a fan of epic adventures, ancient mysteries, and intense action, this game is like your ultimate treasure hunt fantasy come true. It's like Indiana Jones, but with Lara Croft, who's even more badass. You play as Lara Croft, and in this game, she's on a quest to stop a Mayan apocalypse she accidentally triggered. The story is linear, which means you're in for a tightly woven narrative filled with ancient secrets, dangerous enemies, and breathtaking locales. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is a mix of exploration, combat, and puzzle solving. You'll be navigating through dense jungles, exploring hidden tombs, and taking down enemies with stealth or brute force. The climbing and traversal mechanics are super smooth, making every leap and grab feel natural. The puzzles are clever and challenging, giving you that satisfying aha moment when you finally solve them. And let's not forget the combat. You can go in guns blazing, or use stealth to pick off enemies one by one. It's like a choose-your-own adventure, but with way more action. So, if you're looking for a game that offers an epic adventure, challenging puzzles, and intense action, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is a must-play. House of Ashes. If you're into horror games with a cinematic feel and a story that keeps you on the edge of your seat, this game is going to be your jam. It's like playing through a horror movie, but with all the jump scares and tense moments that you control. In House of Ashes, you're thrust into the midst of an ancient Sumerian temple buried deep underground. The game follows a group of soldiers who stumble upon this underground world while on a mission in Iraq. The story is linear, but your choices can significantly impact who lives and who dies, making every decision feel crucial. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure book, but way scarier scarier and with much higher stakes. Gameplay-wise, it's all about exploration, quick time events, and making tough decisions. You'll be navigating dark, claustrophobic tunnels, solving puzzles, and dealing with the horrors that lurk in the shadows. The quick time events keep you on your toes, and the branching narrative means that your choices have real consequences. So, if you're looking for a game that offers a thrilling horror experience, a gripping story, and plenty of heart-pounding moments, House of Ashes is a must-play. Grab your controller, turn off the lights, and get ready to face the terrors lurking in the dark. Trust me, this is one horror adventure you won't want to miss. Control. If you're into supernatural mysteries and mind-bending gameplay, this game is basically a must-play. It's like stepping into a surreal sci-fi thriller where reality is constantly shifting, and you're right in the middle of it. You play as Jesse Faden, who's on a mission to find her missing brother. She ends up at the Federal Bureau of Control, a secretive government agency that deals with paranormal activities. The story is linear, but filled with so many twists and turns that it'll keep you hooked from start to finish. Gameplay-wise, Control is all about exploration, combat, and using your newfound supernatural abilities. Jesse's got some pretty cool powers, like telekinesis, which lets you hurl objects at enemies, and levitation, which makes navigating the bizarre environments a blast. The combat is fast-paced and fluid, with a mix of gunplay and psychic abilities that keep things exciting. Plus, the game's physics-based destruction makes every battlefield dynamic and chaotic. It's like a playground for your inner superhero. The brutalist architecture of the Bureau is both eerie and beautiful, with shifting walls and rooms that defy the laws of physics. The lighting and particle effects are top-notch, creating a sense of atmosphere that's both oppressive and mesmerizing. It's like stepping into an art installation where everything is designed to keep you on edge. I really love the unique story, the immersive atmosphere, and the satisfying combat. So, if you're looking for a game that offers a mix of thrilling action, supernatural abilities, and a story that'll keep you guessing, Control is a must-play. Quantum Break. If you're into games that blend intense action with a gripping, sci-fi storyline, this game is definitely for you. You play as Jack Joyce, a guy who gains the ability to manipulate time after a failed experiment at a university. The story is linear, but it's packed with twists, turns, and moments that'll have you questioning what's going to happen next. The game combines traditional gameplay with live-action episodes, making it feel like you're part of an interactive TV series.
Going too fast for you?
Gameplay-wise, Quantum Break is all about using your time manipulation powers to fight enemies and solve puzzles. You can freeze time, create time shields, and even dodge bullets like a true action hero. The combat is fast-paced and strategic, requiring you to use your powers creatively to outsmart your enemies. The puzzle-solving elements add a nice change of pace, making you think about how to use your abilities in different ways. It's like being a superhero with a really cool power set.
Hey.
The special effects, especially the time manipulation, are spectacular, creating a sense of chaos and wonder. I really like the unique blend of gameplay and live-action storytelling, the engaging narrative, and the innovative use of time powers. So, if you're looking for a game that offers a mix of action, sci-fi intrigue, and a cinematic experience, Quantum Break is a must-play. Metro Last Light. If you're into post-apocalyptic worlds, intense survival horror, and gripping narratives, this game is right up your alley. It's like stepping into a dark, twisted version of the future where every shadow hides a threat. You play as Artyom, a survivor in a post-nuclear Moscow where humanity clings to life in the metro tunnels beneath the city. The story is linear but packed with intense moments and moral choices that keep you hooked from start to finish. It's a direct sequel to Metro 2033, so you'll see some familiar faces and storylines. Imagine a mix of Fallout's desolation with a heavy dose of Russian folklore and horror. That's what you're getting here. Gameplay-wise, Metro Last Light is a blend of first-person shooting, stealth, and survival horror. You'll be scavenging for resources, sneaking past mutants and hostile factions, and engaging in intense firefights. The game does a fantastic job of balancing action with quiet, tense moments of exploration. The stealth mechanics are solid, and there's nothing quite like taking out enemies silently in the dark. The weapon customization is also a highlight, letting you tweak your guns to suit your playstyle. It's like being a one-man army in a very hostile world. The Metro tunnels are claustrophobic and filled with eerie details, while the surface is a hauntingly beautiful wasteland. The lighting and weather effects create an immersive world that's both beautiful and terrifying. The character models and animations are top-notch, making every encounter feel real. It's like stepping into a beautifully crafted nightmare. So, if you're looking for a game that offers a thrilling blend of action, horror, and storytelling, Metro Last Light is a must-play. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. If you've ever dreamed of wielding a lightsaber and using the Force, this game is basically a must-play. It's like stepping into the Star Wars universe and living out your Jedi fantasies. You play as Cal Kestis, a young Jedi on the run after Order 66 wiped out most of the Jedi Order. The story picks up right where Jedi Fallen Order left off, with Cal trying to survive and fight back against the Empire. It's a linear narrative, but packed with epic moments, deep lore, and plenty of character development. Imagine being part of an epic Star Wars saga, with all the lightsaber duels and Force powers you could want. Gameplay-wise, Star Wars Jedi Survivor is a blend of exploration, combat, and puzzle solving. You'll be traveling to different planets, each with its own unique environments and challenges. The combat is smooth and satisfying, combining lightsaber battles with Force abilities that make you feel like a true Jedi. You can parry, dodge, and use the Force to control the battlefield. Plus, the game's Metroidvania elements mean you'll be revisiting areas with new abilities to uncover secrets. It's like a perfect mix of action and exploration. And visually, the planets you visit are beautifully designed, from lush forests and arid deserts to ancient temples and futuristic cities. The special effects, especially the lightsabers and Force powers, are spectacular. It's like being in a Star Wars movie, but you're the hero. So, if you're looking for a game that offers a mix of thrilling action, deep storytelling, and the chance to live out your Jedi dreams, Star Wars Jedi Survivor is a must-play. Gears of War. If you're into intense, cover-based shooters with a heavy dose of gritty, post-apocalyptic action, this game is a classic you need to experience. You play as Marcus Phoenix, a grizzled soldier fighting against the monstrous Locust Horde. The story is linear but packed with epic battles, dramatic moments, and a sense of camaraderie among the soldiers. It's all about survival and fighting back against seemingly insurmountable odds. Imagine a mix of Aliens and Saving Private Ryan, but with way more chainsaw bayonets. Gameplay-wise, Gears of War is all about tactical, cover-based shooting. You'll be diving behind barriers, popping out to take shots, and using the iconic active reload system to keep your guns firing at maximum efficiency. The cover mechanics are tight and responsive, making every firefight feel strategic and intense. And let's not forget the brutal executions. Taking down enemies with your chainsaw bayonet never gets old. Visually, the game was groundbreaking for its time and still holds up well. The environments are dark, war-torn, and filled with atmospheric details that pull you into the world. The character models are chunky and armored, fitting the game's gritty aesthetic perfectly. The lighting and effects add to the game's oppressive, intense atmosphere. It's like stepping into a dystopian war zone where danger lurks around every corner. So, if you're looking for a game that offers intense action, a gripping story, and some of the best cover-based shooting mechanics around, Gears of War is a must-play. Firewatch. Alright, let's dive into Firewatch. If you're into games that offer a rich, immersive narrative with stunning visuals and a touch of mystery, this game is an absolute gem. You play as Henry, a man who takes a job as a fire lookout in the Wyoming wilderness to escape his troubled life. The story is linear but incredibly engaging, driven by the evolving relationship between Henry and his supervisor, Delilah, who you communicate with via a handheld radio. It's all about exploring the vast, picturesque wilderness and uncovering the secrets it holds. Imagine a mix of Gone Home and a beautifully animated nature documentary with a side of personal drama. Gameplay-wise, Firewatch is all about exploration and dialogue. You'll be hiking through the gorgeous forests, canyons, and lakes of Wyoming, investigating strange occurrences and making choices that affect your relationship with Delilah. The dialogue choices are meaningful and help build a deep, personal connection between the characters. It's a walking simulator, but with enough intrigue and interaction to keep you hooked from start to finish. Visually, Firewatch is stunning. The art style is vibrant and unique, with every vista looking like a painting come to life. The attention to detail in the environment creates an immersive experience, making you feel like you're really there, hiking through the wilderness. The dynamic lighting and weather effects add to the atmosphere, making each moment in the game feel special. It's like taking a virtual vacation in the great outdoors, but with a hint of mystery.
Do you have any idea who would have done this?
So, if you're looking for a game that offers a beautiful, narrative-driven experience with plenty of emotional depth, Firewatch is a must-play. Grab your controller, put on your hiking boots, and get ready to explore the stunning wilderness of Wyoming. This is one journey you won't want to miss. What Remains of Edith Finch. If you're into narrative-driven games that tug at your heartstrings and leave a lasting impression, this one's a must-play. It's like stepping into a beautifully crafted storybook where every chapter reveals a new tale. You play as Edith Finch, returning to her family's quirky and mysterious home to uncover the stories of her relatives. The narrative is linear, but each family member's story is told in a unique, immersive way that makes the experience deeply engaging. It's like exploring a series of short stories, each with its own distinct style and emotional weight. Imagine a mix of a graphic novel and a walking simulator, but with a touch of magical realism.
I could tell she was getting really tired.
Gameplay-wise, What Remains of Edith Finch is all about exploration and storytelling. You'll wander through the Finch family home, discovering rooms and hidden areas that each reveal a different family member's story. The gameplay mechanics change with each story, keeping things fresh and surprising. From swinging on a swing to flying like a bird, each vignette offers a unique perspective and playstyle. It's like opening a series of beautifully wrapped gifts, each containing a new and unexpected experience. The art style is whimsical yet grounded, creating an atmosphere that's both magical and melancholic. What I really loved is the touching and thought-provoking stories and the beautiful visuals. So, if you're looking for a game that offers a rich, emotional narrative with stunning visuals and unique gameplay, What Remains of Edith Finch is a must-play.
Wrapped up tight.
Valiant Hearts: The Great War. If you're looking for a game that combines heartfelt storytelling with a unique visual style, this one is a true gem. It's like experiencing a beautifully illustrated historical novel, but you get to be part of the action. You play as several different characters, each with their own story that intertwines with the others, set against the backdrop of World War I. The narrative is linear but deeply engaging, offering a mix of personal drama and historical events. It's like getting a personal tour through some of the most poignant moments of the Great War, with a focus on human connections and the impact of war on individuals. Imagine a history lesson that's both educational and emotionally powerful. Gameplay-wise, Valiant Hearts is a mix of puzzle solving, exploration, and a bit of action. You'll be solving environmental puzzles, navigating through war-torn landscapes, and even engaging in some stealthy maneuvers. Each character has unique abilities that you'll need to use to progress through their stories. The puzzles are cleverly designed, making you think without being too frustrating. It's like playing through a series of interactive vignettes, each with its own challenges and emotional beats. Visually, the art style is hand-drawn and beautifully animated, giving it a distinctive and touching aesthetic. The environments are richly detailed, from the trenches and battlefields to quiet villages and hospitals. So, if you're looking for a game that offers a beautiful blend of storytelling, history, and engaging gameplay, Valiant Hearts: The Great War is a must-play. BioShock Infinite. If you're into thought-provoking stories, breathtaking visuals, and intense first-person action, this game is a masterpiece you absolutely need to experience. It's like stepping into a beautifully crafted dystopian world with a story that'll keep you thinking long after you've put down the controller. You play as Booker DeWitt, a former Pinkerton agent with a troubled past. Your mission? To find and rescue a mysterious young woman named Elizabeth, who's trapped in the floating city of Columbia. The linear story is packed with twists and turns that'll leave your jaw on the floor. It's like playing through a mind-bending novel where every revelation pulls you deeper into the narrative. Imagine a blend of steampunk aesthetics and rich, philosophical storytelling. That's BioShock Infinite in a nutshell. Gameplay-wise, BioShock Infinite is a first-person shooter with a unique twist. You'll be using a mix of traditional weapons and supernatural powers, known as Vigors, to take down enemies. The combat is fast-paced and dynamic, allowing for creative combinations of gunplay and Vigors. The skylines add a vertical dimension to the gameplay, letting you zip around the battlefield with ease. It's like being in a roller coaster ride where you're armed to the teeth. Plus, Elizabeth isn't just a damsel in distress. She's a crucial ally who helps you with ammo, health, and even opening tiers in the fabric of reality. The city of Columbia is a floating paradise with a dark underbelly, brought to life with incredible attention to detail. The vibrant colors, intricate designs, and atmospheric lighting create a world that's both beautiful and haunting. The character models and animations are top-notch, making every interaction feel lifelike. It's like stepping into a meticulously crafted work of art. I really love the deep, complex story, the innovative gameplay, and the breathtaking visuals. So, if you're looking for a game that offers a blend of intense action, deep storytelling, and stunning visuals, BioShock Infinite is a must-play. Telltale's The Walking Dead. If you're into emotionally driven stories and making tough choices that really matter, this game series is a must-play. You start off in the shoes of Lee Everett, a man with a troubled past who finds himself caring for a young girl named Clementine in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. The story is linear but highly interactive, driven by the choices you make. Each decision can significantly impact the direction of the story and the fate of the characters. It's like watching a high-stakes TV show where you get to call the shots. Imagine the Walking Dead series, but with you controlling the narrative. Gameplay-wise, Telltale's The Walking Dead is more about narrative and choices than action. You'll explore environments, interact with other characters, and make decisions that can have immediate or long-term consequences. The game uses quick-time events for action sequences, keeping you on your toes during intense moments. The dialogue choices are where the game truly shines, as they shape your relationships and the overall story. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure book, but way more intense and emotional.
Oh shit.
Visually, the game uses a distinctive comic book art style, paying homage to the original graphic novels. The art style helps to soften the grim realities of the zombie apocalypse, making the emotional moments hit even harder. It's like stepping into a living comic book where every panel is filled with drama and tension. So, if you're looking for a game that offers a rich narrative, meaningful choices, and a lot of emotional depth, Telltale's The Walking Dead series is a must-play. Life is Strange. If you're into games that focus on storytelling, emotional depth, and making tough choices, this game is a must-play. It's like stepping into a beautifully crafted indie film where every decision you make shapes the narrative. You play as Max Caulfield, a teenager with a passion for photography who discovers she has the ability to rewind time. The story is linear but deeply interactive, driven by your choices and the relationships you build. Max's journey takes place in the fictional town of Arcadia Bay, where she reconnects with her childhood friend, Chloe Price, and uncovers dark secrets about the town and its inhabitants. It's like being part of a compelling coming-of-age drama with a supernatural twist.
20 years, you just zoned. No, I saw.
Gameplay-wise, Life is Strange is all about exploration, dialogue, and decision-making. You'll navigate through different environments, interact with various characters, and make choices that impact the story and character relationships. The ability to rewind time adds a unique layer to the gameplay, allowing you to see the immediate consequences of your decisions and choose a different path if you want. It's like having a second chance to get things right, but with all the weight of knowing every choice matters. So, if you're looking for a game that offers a rich, emotional narrative with plenty of choices and a unique time-rewinding mechanic, Life is Strange is a must-play.
No way!
Don't ever touch me again, freak!
Senua's Saga: Hellblade 2. In this game, you play as Senua, a Celtic warrior struggling with severe mental illness while embarking on a harrowing journey through a world inspired by Norse mythology. The story is linear, but it's packed with psychological depth and emotional weight, exploring themes of trauma, grief, and resilience. It's like being part of a dark, atmospheric saga that's as much about the internal struggle as it is about external challenges. Senua's Saga: Hellblade 2 is a blend of exploration, combat, and puzzle solving, all wrapped up in a deeply atmospheric experience. The combat is intense and visceral, requiring precise timing and strategic use of Senua's abilities. The puzzles are cleverly integrated into the environment, often requiring you to use Senua's unique perspective and mental state to find solutions. It's like navigating through a a living nightmare where every shadow and sound plays a role in the story. Visually, the game is absolutely stunning. The environments are incredibly detailed, with a haunting beauty that makes every scene feel like a piece of art. The character models and animations are lifelike, capturing every nuance of Senua's expressions and movements. The use of lighting and sound design creates an immersive atmosphere that pulls you into Senua's world and mind. It's like stepping into a dark, surreal painting where every brushstroke adds to the story. So, if you're looking for a game that offers a blend of intense action, deep storytelling, and stunning visuals, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 is a must-play. Grab your controller, step into Senua's shoes, and get ready for a journey through a hauntingly beautiful world filled with darkness and hope. Detroit Become Human.
What are you waiting for? Chase it!
If you're into games that offer branching narratives, deep storytelling, and impactful choices, this game is a standout experience. It's like stepping into a futuristic thriller where every decision you make shapes the story, with your choices determining the fate of each character and the world around them. It's like watching a gripping TV series, but you're in control of the plot twists. Imagine a mix of Blade Runner and Westworld, but with even more personal stakes. You'll navigate through beautifully crafted environments, interact with a diverse cast of characters, and make decisions that can have immediate and long-term consequences. The game's branching narrative means that every playthrough can be different, offering a high level of replayability. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure book, but with stunning visuals and intense action sequences. Visually, the game is breathtaking. The futuristic city of Detroit is brought to life with incredible detail, from the sleek high-tech buildings to the gritty downtrodden neighborhoods. The character models and facial animations are some of the best in gaming, making every conversation feel real and emotionally charged. The lighting and special effects add to the immersive experience, making you feel like you're part of a living, breathing world. So, if you're looking for a game that offers a rich narrative, stunning visuals, and choices that truly matter, Detroit Become Human is a must play.
Connor! Connor!
Resident Evil 3. If you're a fan of survival horror with a mix of intense action and atmospheric tension, this game is going to keep you on the edge of your seat. It's like stepping into a horror movie where you're both the hero and the prey. You play as Jill Valentine, one of the last surviving members of the Elite Special Tactics and Rescue Service, STRS, as she tries to escape a zombie-infested Raccoon City. The story is linear but packed with thrilling moments and relentless tension, especially with the iconic Nemesis creature hunting you down. It's a pulse-pounding race against time, full of heart-stopping chases and harrowing escapes. Imagine being in a relentless cat and mouse game where the stakes are life and death. Gameplay-wise, Resident Evil 3 blends classic survival horror elements with modern action. You'll be managing resources, solving puzzles, and fighting off hordes of zombies and other bioengineered monsters. The combat is tight and satisfying, with a variety of weapons at your disposal to fend off the terrifying enemies. The Nemesis adds a unique twist, as his unexpected appearances force you to stay on your toes and adapt your strategies on the fly. It's like trying to navigate a minefield while being chased by a relentless predator. So, if you're looking for a game that offers intense action, gripping horror, and a relentless pursuit by one of gaming's most iconic villains, Resident Evil 3 is a must-play. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. If you're into stealth action games with a gripping narrative and deep gameplay mechanics, this game is an absolute classic. It's like stepping into a Cold War-era spy thriller where every decision and action can mean the difference between life and death. You play as Naked Snake, who eventually becomes Big Boss, a legendary soldier on a mission to rescue a Soviet scientist and thwart a nuclear threat. The linear story is incredibly rich, filled with twists, political intrigue, and deep character development. Set in the 1960s, it serves as a prequel to the entire Metal Gear series, providing crucial backstory and context. Imagine a mix of James Bond and a Tom Clancy novel, but with Hideo Kojima's unique storytelling flair.
I raised you. I loved you.
Gameplay-wise, Metal Gear Solid 3 is all about stealth, survival, and tactical espionage. You'll navigate through dense jungles, military bases, and other hostile environments, using camouflage and stealth tactics to avoid detection. The game introduces a survival aspect, where you'll need to hunt for food, treat injuries, and manage stamina to stay in peak condition. The close quarters combat system adds depth to hand-to-hand encounters, allowing for a variety of combat maneuvers. It's like being dropped into a spy movie where you have to think and act like a true operative. Visually, the game was groundbreaking for its time and still holds up well. The environments are lush and detailed, from the dense foliage of the jungle to the stark interiors of enemy installations. The character models and animations are impressive, making cutscenes and interactions feel dynamic and lifelike. The attention to detail in the camouflage system and survival mechanics adds to the game's immersive experience. It's like stepping into a meticulously crafted world where every element serves the narrative and gameplay.
By your own hand.
So, if you're looking for a game that combines a compelling narrative, deep stealth mechanics, and immersive environments, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater is a must-play. Well everyone, that was all for this video. I hope you enjoyed my list. It took a really long time to make this. So please subscribe and I will see you in the next video. Have a good day.